Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici. Welcome my friends. My name is Vincenzo and welcome to my channel. And my channel is Fountain Pen Therapy. And I've got another Majohn clone for you folks. I've been snake bitten, as they say. This is a pen that's been in my cart for I don't know how many months. But I'm glad I waited because it went down. I think it lost about 30, 40 Canadian dollars. And I couldn't wait any longer. And so there it is. Please stay tuned. Fountain Pen Therapy presents the Majohn P137. Okay, so here's the box, typical Majohn box, nothing extraordinary, except there's a little more stuff in here than I had expected. Let me just put that in there. First of all, I get to the nib in a second. Give me this kind of sleeve, I guess, for the pen. Not the greatest quality in the world, but it's a nice thought, so that was included. You've got, of course, instructions on how to fill. It's manual, how to fill the pen as usual. Always very practical. Now, in terms of the nibs, I ordered this pen with a special nib, which is that lemon hand-polished nib that has a little bit of a architect grind that I've had excellent success with in other pens that I've ordered. But they provide you with the original Majohn or Moonman nib. It's a fine. And the hand-polished lemon nib is in the pen, and we'll see that in a second. So that is the pen. Now let's take a look at the pen. Beautiful pen, I got to tell you. Yes, it is a clone of the Agatha Christie. Let me put up on screen just one of the photographs of the many versions of the original Mont Blanc. I think I've seen it in different colors. Yeah, there it is. Very, very similar in terms of its, it's got that snake. It doesn't have any, at least I don't think, no, it doesn't have any rubies in the eyes of the snake. Now, I'll put on the screen another version of this Majohn P137, which is also sold, that has that, a different type of snake, but one that's, circular one that just envelopes the cap, if you will, and less of a clip. This one has a clip. It's not, it's very stiff and unpractical. So I'm not sure I think it's meant to be decorative more than an actual clip. But you can try to squeeze in something in there. What I find beautiful about this pen is the titanium alloy with that gold toned trimmings. Majohn is written very nicely, I got to tell you, very, very nice. It's almost engraved. Majohn China. Yeah, that's right, Majohn China. Very, very nice, I've got to tell you. Then it's got that knob on top, which is, of course, not the Mont Blanc Peak, but, very similar. Nice design. Everything appears to be well integrated. Excellent quality. I mean, this, this ribbed band here is a little bit, there's a lot of texture there. Same thing goes with this one. But I think it's meant this way. It's meant to control your piston knob, and we'll get to that in a second. So there it is. Very, very beautiful pen, I got to tell you. A little bit lighter than the P130, what is it, the 138, I guess it would be. Or is it the P136? I guess it's the P136. That's titanium as well. And I'm mixed up. I'm going to put the right number on the screen. It's a little bit lighter for some reason, by about 4 to 5 grams lighter. And there's a little bit in the cap and a little bit in the barrel as well. And I'm just wondering why. So that's the outside of the pen. Now let's see how many turns. That's 1. It's 1.5, 1 3/4, 2, 2.5. So it's about 2.5, just less, a little bit less than 2.5. And it reveals that lemon nib. There it is, folks. I really like this nib. Very nice ink window. It's got that blue, it's kind of got a blue window, which is a really nice touch. We're going to put some turquoise light blue ink in here, probably the Majohn ink to kind of match it. It is a piston filler, turns very nicely. I can see some brass underneath there, so I'm assuming that it's their brass piston, but I could be wrong. I can't see it. I'm not going to dismantle it just because I'm not good at it, and I'm afraid that I'm just going to bust the pen even before I use it. I'll apologize in advance for not opening up, but I'm sure there are others who have done it already. Now, this is a little loose. I noticed there's got a little bit of give there, which is not something that I like, but the thread here is fairly smooth. The grid here on the ink window there's a little bit of texture there. I can feel it, but nothing intrusive. Pen is very comfortable. It's a nice size, nice pen. Now, what's nice about this titanium, the way they've done it, it's not ribbed in any way, at least I don't think, but it doesn't slip. It's got a nice flare, as you can see, so your fingers really stay there. Take a look at the way the finial is done on the barrel. Really nice finish. Does it post? It does post, but I've got a feeling it controls the piston knob. Let's just check. I don't see the barrel. It's got to be controlling because it's turning it. Yeah, I think it's interfering with that. Actually, the best way to figure it out is if I do this, you see. Yeah, it's opened up. So not ideal for posting, but it can be posted, okay? Can be posted. Just be careful. And if it's posted, a little back weighted, not too much. It's actually very comfortable. You can post it, and then you just have to be careful to make sure you take it out this way and not turn the knob. I don't like it because it's just going to scratch all the aluminum. There's no point for me to post this pen. Now, what I noticed in comparison to my T1 is there's a little bit of a grind there. I don't know if you can hear this. You know, there's a bit of loose. Let me just get my T1. This is the T1. Much smoother than this one. Let me just see if I can switch the barrels on this. You know what? It's smoother. It's smoother on the cap of the T1. There you go. Now let me just see if I put the much smoother. So the problem is a combined one. I don't know what it is. It's smoother, but there's too much of a give. No, doesn't work. Doesn't work. There you have it. Okay, so we'll put that back to where it belongs. Two gorgeous pens. I got to tell you, they've become two of my favorite. They're going to be two of my favorite. I'm going to take a look at, I think this is a medium nib that I have on this one. I wanted to try out the fine, so I'm looking forward to the writing sample. Not tried the pen before. What we'll do is we'll do some comparisons first, take some measurements, and then we'll do the writing sample. Okay, for comparison, chosen the Natami Space Craft pen. I have my Asvine V200, my Asvine J16, my Asvine, is it 59? No, 36, P36. Then, of course, this is the, and I can never get it, but it'll be up on the screen, the T1, if you will. I think it's the P136 T1 or the 136 T1, I forget. And then, of course, you have the 137 there. So you can tell it's probably the smallest one of them all. This one is aluminum as opposed to titanium, but it's a nice comparison. So there you have the pens capped. Here are the pens uncapped and unposted. Compared to the T1, there's a tiny difference, and probably can explain how deep the nibs are in the section. So I would say it's equivalent to the T1. And then, of course, you have the P36 here. The two Asvines are close by. The V200 is a much bigger pen, and it's an equivalent to the Natami there. There you have the pens posted and uncapped. Here are the pens posted. None of them are great posters, I got to tell you, because they all become ridiculously long, especially my V200. My Natami just kind of, you have to kind of really stick it in there, otherwise it loosens up real quick. But there you have it. For those of you who absolutely insist on posting, you can see that the 137 is just a little bit bigger than the T1. So there you have the pens posted. We'll do some measurements and be right back. Okay, I'm back. I changed my mind. The reason why is simple, because I'm lazy. My Majohn light blue is somewhere upstairs in my office, and I don't want to go upstairs. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace that with this Scribble Blue Capri, an ink that I purchased recently, which is just an absolute joy. It's become one of my favorites. There you go, and it's also a very nice ink in terms of performance. So, okay, let's see how that works out. That's one. Now, folks, I never clean out my pens, which is a no-no. You should. I'm just too excited. I just get right into it and let the ink do the work. But it's not the right way. It's not the right way. You know, cleaning it would have meant drying it out, and I just don't have the time, folks. Don't have the time. Got it on the weekend. It's too late for my recap because I got it Sunday morning, and by then it was too late. But it did arrive in time for me to do this review. And I have my T1 right next to me because I want to compare both nibs. So there you have it. Let's see how this writes. Very comfortable. Oh, wow. Majohn P137. I'm going to call it the snake clip because it actually does have a clip for what it's worth. The nib is a lemon number 6. steel, hand polished. At least that's the way they refer to it. And it's a fine. But because of that grind, it really writes like a medium in my view. That's the nib. The ink is Scribo Blue Capri, yeah. It's actually without the E. It's blue in Italian, but Capri, folks, I've been dreaming about it. Every summer, I always think about going back. It's just a beautiful island. And this ink just kind of brings me back. Okay, so the nib, look at that, very wet. I would say to you that it's very, very wet. It is also, it's got a little bit of friction there because of the grind, but it's very smooth. And as you could see, it's very constant or consistent. In other words, there's no skipping at all. I mean, it's just a joy. No matter in what direction you want this nib to go, it just performs beautifully. It's become one of my favorite nibs. And the lemon, it's got a nice decorative look as well, and it really matches that pen with that silver and gold tones. Nice. I mean, they charge you a premium for it, which is unfortunate. I don't think it's worth the premium. No, I take that back. It's worth the premium, but they shouldn't charge it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Reverse writing. It's digging into the paper. Oh, by the way, the paper, I forgot to mention, the paper is Chinese Tomo River. I forget what they call it. I'm going to see if I could put the name up on the screen. They give it a name, but essentially it is Tomo River paper. So, and I bought like 600 loose leaves at a good price. So this is writing really nicely. And then, of course, what happens is, just what thought I'd mention while I'm at it, is it's easy for me to just poke holes through it, and then I put it in it's kind of a journal, not a journal, but a binder where I keep all my ink swatching and the pens, and so I keep track of them. And then at the end of the year, I know which pens I bought during the 2025 year, so I can do my Academy Awards, so to speak. For those of you who have not watched those videos, are a lot of fun. I wear a tuxedo and all the rest of it. Oh, let me compare the T1. So this is the Majohn. Very little difference. I'm wondering whether or not I mistakenly ordered a medium. I think it's, you know what, I can't tell. Let me just write fountain, one next to the other, but they're just such delicious, delicious nibs. What do you think, folks? I think they're the same. I don't think there's a difference, frankly. There you have it, two beautiful pens. Now, likes and dislikes. Guess which pen is going in my case this week. Okay, the likes. Folks, I'm sorry, but I like the design. I like the design, although it's clone. Clone, you can say dislike, but it's a good clone. piston filler with an ink window. I like the size and weight of this pen. It's titanium, but it's not overly heavy, and it's extremely comfortable. In terms of dislikes, I'm not crazy about the grinding here. It's just not perfect, okay? But otherwise, it's like something's happening there that's not perfect, which is unfortunate. That is not on the T1. So, you know, the closure, it just, you know, there's a grinding noise there that I don't like. Is this a go-to pen? 10 on 10, folks. I know, like my T1, this thing's going to be used really often. There you have it. Let me just sign this. We'll actually put a date on it. I'm doing this on August the 3rd, 2025. Here we go. Folks, here it is. Let me just put it here for you. Two beautiful pens from Majohn. I recommend both of them. If this is cheaper, I think it's cheaper these days, go for that one. Because I still think that at roughly 130 Canadian, you know what, they're charging us too much. And some of you might be dissuaded. You may want to wait until prices go down even further. Maybe they'll have a special or some kind of a discount someday. But it's been in my cart for so long, I needed to get it. So there you have it, folks. That's the P137. Beautiful, beautiful pen. Beautiful pen. 10 on 10. With that nib, you cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong with that nib. You know, and usually architect nibs, you know, I'm not the craziest fan, but the way they've done it, the way they polish that grind, number one. Folks, that's it. Enjoy your pens. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. For those of you who don't know, subscription doesn't mean you're paying me or you need to pay. You just subscribe and that's it. The only difference is you'll be notified when I publish something. And, you know, if you get fed up of me, as I always say, you can always unsubscribe. Okay? There you go. And it helps the algorithm and it keeps the lights on, as Hemingway Jones would say. Grazie. Ciao.